play natin dito from our slot 4 versus our slot 24 right now. Down sa last man starting 3-man squad pa rin. Yung mga slot 11 natin still naka-focus pa rin. Yung mga slot 24 natin dito sa side ng mga play natin all the way from slot 4. Pero slot 24 natin dito, man, they are now being they're giving those men from our slot 4 no choice. Slot 24 vice versa, turning their view around dito sa side ng mga slot 11 natin. But before they definitely knew or got aware na nandito pa rin yung mga slot 11 natin. One player has been knocked down and eliminated out from the game right there and then. So it's gonna be 3-on-1 situation. Luna na lang dito gumagala, pero I don't know, man. I knew Luna most definitely is gonna be handling those guys all the way from slot 11 single-handedly. Let's see. Somehow he will be having that hindrance versus those men from slot 11. Pero by now, alam na rin na one play natin sa Luna kung one play teams natin dito might have seen some movement natin that he can take down. One player has been down dito sa side ng mga slot 11 natin dito by just closing inside of the small room kung nasa yung way above nila. Pero from the open fire that he did, that 24 Ninja Luna most definitely heard the engagement, and most definitely that one player from slot 11 pops out here on his gadget. And right now he's now avoiding the area where the one player was slot 18 most definitely got knocked down dito sa side ng mga slot 11 natin. You know what that means after knocked down? It's time for the bush, even though they're gonna be facing 2 more squad or 2 more players from our slot 11. They're gonna be having their contest pa rin dito sa side ng mga play natin, taking advantage while that one player from slot 11 is knocked down. That one shot, that one player from slot 11 he's now having the pickle mind, most definitely think twice to pursue that pump shot guys gonna be using versus one player with slides in. See that swap hit the depth from the point of a view that they are most definitely got versus those slot 19 who that definitely around their vehicle dito sa location kung nasa yung mga slot 40 natin. But we have our slot 9 opening fire roughly as you can see dito sa side ng mga slot 21 natin. I've got a few players that are the blue zone are now allowing our slot 19 to stay here, and the longest you can see they are now being flushed out from those hiding spots or behind of those hideouts nila. Slot 5 on his way down, slot 21 being open fired up, pero everyone from slot 21 already knew that those men from slot 19 will be knocked down by the blue zone. It's a matter of time. Somehow those other players gonna be having their fight scene on their way outside of the blues. So fighting ginawa nila, everyone most definitely figured out there's 2-man squad pa rin from slot 19 most definitely stopped and being held inside of the blues. Bomb no popping dito sa side ng mga slot from the point of a view that they are view around their scope inside of the smoke pop na ginawa din ng mga play natin all the way from slot APH. Pero 3-on-3 situation pa rin dito sa side ng mga ego natin. Rain and spotting someone behind of the wooden box as you can see, and slot 21 beginning to pop the smoke kung nasa yung whereabouts nila. Right now alam na rin ng mga slot 9 natin kung nasa yung whereabouts kaya mga play natin all the way from slot 21. Pero kung nagdaw kung nasaan talaga yung whereabouts at the same time ng mga play natin all the way from slot 18. One play has been knocked down dito sa side ng mga slot 9 natin dito because of DPWH. Ring around the rosy, everyone is doing a beautiful moment occurring sa mga play natin dito because of those men from slot 88. Our player from our slot 21 being confused. That's the way about it down mga play natin dito. Pero one play has been knocked down. Rain, I know knocked down. We also have Ira, empty na lang yung natitira ng bagay. Pero one player done. Most definitely review around their scope inside of the smoke pop na ginawa them. So as our boys all the way from our APH, but our players from our slot IC, slot 19, will be landing on 𝐂𝐄𝐋𝐄𝐒. Slot 19 most definitely land here. Alright, touch their feet on the ground. All of them having their loot out, arming themselves out. We have Pandora, Whoopi, Isolations, and also we have Guido. One player from a slot Eagle was being knocked down right there and then, man, leaving those men or giving those men no choice but to have their fight scene. Another one bites the dust here on our player from slot 100, slot 21 versus Eagle being eradicated one by one, empty-handed, everyone hit. Ito sa side of mga slot 9, 5 back sa mga play natin. Taking the opportunity was those federal slot 9 or slot Ego is empty and able to fight back dito sa side ng mga slot 21 slot, and all of them has been eradicated. The guy earlier will be opening fire throughout the ring kung nasaan yung whereabouts ng one play natin dito sa slot 11. which is si Alvaro. Pero you know, as natututos natin yun, nandito lang din sa front side view kung nasaan yung mga Slap 5s natin, 2-man squad. Our Slap 5 hasn't been disintegrated from the game. Higher ground, plenty of a movement and being spotted, pero couldn't be able to take those men down right away. Kasi if somehow they're gonna be opening fire, someone will be taking their shot at the same time dito sa perimeter or dito sa mga player natin all the way from Slap 5. They're gonna be finishing our player from Slap 7. The entire levels natin dito before. They're gonna be turning their view around fully to the side and mga slap na dito natin fully. Pero nga lang, one player dead from Slap 7 has been knocked down. And there goes elimination. Alright, talaga kami nakita na rin mga Stat 22s natin dito. Much higher ground. Some player of Stat 22 is posing themselves for a possible tagging moment kung saan naka-perimeter or naka-post taking yung mga the guy earlier will be opening fire throughout the ring kung nasaan yung whereabouts ng one player natin dito sa yung mga Stat 22s natin, even though that everyone's gonna be fighting out rin kung nasaan yung whereabouts man down, opening fire widely towards the one player from Stat 23 who's gonna be having that surgical mission towards the one player who got knocked down by yours truly all the way from Stat 22. That every player of Stat 22 is already know one player of Stat 23 will be saved by this one player who then definitely catches himself using the buggy right now inside of the blue zone. He is versus those Stat 22 Stat 22 natin dito, maybe planning out na rin to head inside the compound kung nasa yung whereabouts ng mga player natin dito all the way Stat 23 before they definitely evacuate the area. Pero the blue zone are hitting those boys of Stat 22s and that is the damage from Stat 22 the minute to start giving him down all the way Stat 22 pero tables and they're turning dito sa side ng mga Stat 22 natin 2-man squad of Stat 22 at side ng mga Stat 22 natin, even though every probably mga statics natin dito is our player from our Slot 7 pero KABLAT being knocked down, eradicated one by one inside the circle. Everyone is having their gunfights in right side. We have our Slot Hunter Slot 21 still searching for those targets who got knocked down by them. Then they are not holding out from this gunfight. If somehow they're gonna be getting those knockdowns what they needed to decide to play natin all the way from MS. Maybe that is the time that they're gonna be dealing out from this location. But Slot 21 since the moving forward kung nasa at the same time they must Slot 22 natin. I know somehow Slot 22 natin dito can give their surprise versus those Slot 21 and having those men knocked down. Dito sa perimeter kung nasa sila pero those men from Slot 21 more than definitely got what they came for, which is yung mga heads ng mga players natin earlier kanina. Allowing on the other hand, last man starting to do nasa yung position nila ating driving back sa area kung saan nagkameron ng gunfight yung mga player natin doon pero he got himself gunned down while driving by. Yeah, probably the most classics natin dito is our player from our opening fire inside the smoke pot. Ginawa ng mga player natin dito while that one player going for the first around the road. Testing the one player is whoever's going to open fire towards him. Those other players that when the one's going to be focusing their open fire towards the one guy who's going to be attempting to take his knock down for him. The statics natin dito in staying inside of one of his hanger para yung mga play natin. Watching those other players terminate one another. Slot 19 on the other hand, movie being open fire that after spraying inside of the spot. Ginawa ng mga play natin all the way. From Slot 19, any moment too soon, someone will be having his move take all the way from behind of the one player from Slot IC. Pero as of now, no one is doing that. Open for a fast goal now. Down to the the location where that fire earlier mga statics natin dito. Thinking that they can have those squad wide bursts sa kanila pero statics natin dito all the way. Statics natin dito, no way out probably. Nowhere to run yung mga player natin dito pero still taking the chance after those around and having those attention ng mga player natin going towards those other players been having tunnel vision to one another. Kanina nagkameron na rin ang open fire one play natin dito all the way from Slot 10 earlier kay Camille and sabi natin irresistible na to take their shot earlier kasi sitting down na din and no cover yung one play natin doon taking their shot dito sa side ng mga Slot 10 natin. Slot 10 one player pinag down earlier pero from the open fire natin everyone's turning their view on dun sa mga gunshots down so that's why Slot 10 natin dito man they are feeling kumulaw behind of the court kung saan nagkakameron ng bahalag natin dito. The last man from his squad, those last slot that one player has been knocked down. Last time you to the one from our slot 10 open fire towards him. His fire eating down with him and no cover yung one player natin doon. Taking a shot dito sa side ng mga slot 10 natin. Slot 10, one player has been knocked down earlier. Pero from the open slot natin, everyone's turning their V1 dun sa mga gunshot sound. So that's why slot 10 natin dito. Man, they are feeling gumalaw behind of the quarter kung saan nagkakamera ng balag natin dito. The last man from his spot. So slot that one player has been knocked down. Last side view to the one from our slot 10 open na mga slot 8 natin versus slot 17. KC still running here in the open, figuring out having those back time you plan not to grab sa side ng mga slot na first natin and hoping that he can have his squad wide dito sa side mga VIP natin, bapping natin. Alright, dito muna natin sa mga play natin dito. Nagkakameron din ng balagbagan or nagkakameron ng stand-up. Couldn't be able to, grab those good angle. Pero ATH Jello has been knocked down dito sa side ng mga play natin all the way from our strategy or maybe not. Alright, SEVENDEADLYSIN, higher gun, ganda ng position again. Nagkameron ng warm for this situation. Play natin dito over slot 9. Bring around the road, grabbing those back down view. Mga standard for a possible knockdown that he can get into the side of the center all the way flat into one down. 3 more to go. Limiting the one player will because you already know those other players coming for his head after the knockdown that he definitely got into the side of my player and all the way from Morris. And the most had definitely begun thinking that they're gonna be buying some time after the knockdown and the one that did to the side of my player and all the way from stat 6 because of the knockdown. They're gonna be pointing their attention towards those knockdown and the one that did to the side of my player and all the way from stat 6. But no one player from stat 21 has been knocked down in the process of maybe attempting to cross the bridge. Pero yun nga lang safe from stat 21 has been knocked down at the same time. But you're still all the way from our stat 6 na si God. Opening fire roughly para yung mga play natin dito all the way from stat 21 and another one almost bites the dust which is me all the way from stat 21 pero ring around the rosy everyone is doing one play down from stat 6 and now using and holding the gameplay is if only he will be on point towards his target. He will be knocking one down dito sa side of stat 21 stat them hearing the pink sound is gonna be moving out from the location M249 machine gun rifle on the tank, 150 bullets out of the faculty. Most had definitely begun. So wait to start with the one. They're ring around the rosy. Everyone is doing one play down from stat 6 and now using and holding that gameplay is if only he was in the situation that him. Pero right now, he's not preventing the one play to have his rejuvenation process. Still damage para yung one play natin dito. And Lewis are taking an opportunity while the one play still knocked down and Luna will be his assistant after all. Alright, man, all the way from South TCDS. Those other players slotting natin dito sa mouth. Those player will be pushed back, will be flushed out using the backhand. Luna will be having those knocked down all the way from behind of the household. Kung nasa yung one play natin na si Lewis natin. Other player then from our slot match or slot 16 na know how to gunfight dito sa side ng mga slot hold natin. 2-on-1 situation. And the drive bello natin dito no being rushed day na mga play natin all the way from slot 12. Other than that, I don't know why the mga slot hold natin never player 2 man squad of slot 12. I know man, they are not as safe to turn the building. One play natin dito for slot 6 pero yun nga lang 16 pero nga lang he's missing his window for a pass play though from our slot CTS versus Hades. We'll be having that one player that is Jamal is not gonna be having the reloading moment pero MS natin dito getting their knocked down at the same time. Kung nagkameron yata ng table turn and maybe started natin dito one player who got knocked down earlier is meant rin to be knocked down. So that those other players who got knocked down dito sa side ng mga slot 8 natin dito who got the opportunity to put them down will be having that thinking to push 10 and those men probably slot 4 fell from that trap maybe luring those men inside of this compound kung nasa whereabouts nila and ganun sila kasigurado that they can have those clutch moment breaks with other players those gonna be rushing in and ganun yan nangyari one by one though from our stat 24 different angles most definitely has been grabbing those stat 24s but still manages to declare though from our slot CTS versus Hades who will be having that one player that is Jamal is still gonna be having the reloading moment pero MS natin dito getting their knocked down at the same time. Mukhang nagkameron yata ng table turn and maybe starting moment all the way from those backhand views nila. Pero again, mukhang nagkameron yata ng miscalculated yung mga strategies natin dito to check kung nasa yung whereabouts of human squad of our strategy. Pero still, they definitely got what they came for, which is elimination towards those T3s and stat 30s natin, stat 50s natin, pero 2-man squad lang. Okay, for Slap Force versus DMWs, last man John Ray na lang yung natitirang gumagalaw, and one by one perhaps those men from Slap 13 are being put to rest by the Blue Zone. 2 of them have been knocked down, the APH Clover has been knocked down, eliminated of the game. Every player opening fire throughout this position with one player and all the way from Slap PSYCAT. Alright, now those other players, that 15 starting pulling over at the same time here in the location where everyone will be having their good visuals towards those targets. Sobrang far away to one player and all the way from South PSYCAT. Alright, now those other players, that 15 starting pulling over at the same time here in the location where down at the same time ng blue zone natin. Started with 5. One down. Those men from our last 7 deadly sins being rained by the bullets of this one guy from our last 5 starting dito. No one knows talaga kung nasa way about sa mga play. Execute this mission, which is a $90 content. Those other players from starting opening fire back at the same time. Dito sa location kung nasa yung one play natin na si Ali all the way to top 5. Pero after the open fire that he did, everyone's gonna be waiting for him here. The open kung nasa top 4. And those other players with starters natin right side view being taken over ng mga starters natin, opening fire back towards this one player from top 5 could have definitely got their brother down. Pero again, starter natin did not stop opening fire towards this location kung nasa last man from top 5. At the same time, left side corner slightly, we have our top 14, pero front side nila, we have our slot 12 opening fire yung mga play natin kung nasa yung whereabouts yung mga slotters natin the where our player was slot 10 taking their open fire, taking the shot at the same time sa mga slot 14 nasa nap, and those other players who's been having their slumber mission which is our slot 12 natin dito. Kanina slumber moment ginagawa ng mga play natin dito, pero not today because of the blue zone are not allowing there no more to post there on side of the building. Right now they're being flushed down by the blue zone itself. Bring around the road, testing water, everyone's doing this to find them up player and pero natin dito they're figuring out na kung nasa way about some other player natin dito all the way from top 12 who's definitely opening fire at them earlier. Right now one player from top 12 knocked down because of those men from top 10. So in third, one player from top 10 who's going to be that bird's eye view na mga slotters natin. One player from top 10 moving forward, having the open fire. Pina maybe is using for that 50 bullets. No way Jose that is going to be reloading the gun sooner, pero I don't know, man. One player from slot has been knocked down, eliminated one guy. Yes, 2-on-1 situation is gonna be going down. Ayos yun natin dito. What he can do right now is Tigers perimeter kung saan ngayon magkakamera move taking yung last man from our slot 40s natin dito. Pero few smokes being pop, having those men from our slot and yung look kung nasa yung whereabouts sila. Pero one player from slot and go to the ring around the road using the Uzi, almost got him down, pero one player from our slot will be knocked down. I don't know, pero right now one player from our slot for him power up and putting up a 5 versus 2 players came from our slot and giving them a hard they're thinking that they can have the elimination towards one player. They definitely hop inside of the vehicle with this one player of slot 21 are driving, and those men most definitely send some info na rin kung nasa whereabouts sa mga player natin dito, saying na ambushin nyo kami, nandito ako, meron akong 2 tao dito that you can definitely have your knockdown on. One player then from slot 8 natin dito, MS Ren, last man from his squad. After that land na ginawa nila dito kung nasa whereabouts sa mga other play natin earlier, kaya na all the way slot 21, pero shot has been taken and knocked down and being grabbed by those other players from slot 12 or CTS natin dito. Slot 8 only allowing them to be their target. No one's gonna be knocking them down. At least, maybe. Damage, maybe perhaps, pero slot 16 versus slot 5. Damage one guy, yes, nailed natin dito, pero thank God he's definitely well boosted for him to be able to receive a minimal damage coming from sa mga slot 16 natin. 4 on the situation. One player then from more slap mad or may use na 16 risky. I know risking is game live and moving on or moving forward na rin kung nasaan yung whereabouts ng mga staff fights natin. Again, 2-1 for situation. VIP Luna got knockdown. We got some knockdown versus our slot APH natin. APH natin dito moving forward na rin kung nasaan yung whereabouts ng mga staff 24 natin. One player then from staff VIP. Begin to play. Having the one player back top, he got himself down at the same time. Started things natin dito most definitely gonna figure out that those other players started four is gonna be moving for the rin kung nasa yung way about na knock na nila dito inside. Yung mga play natin all the way started four. Or higit pa rin yung mga heads ng mga start ages natin for a possible knockdown coming from those men from start ages natin. From start ages natin dito, most definitely tag the perimeter kung nasa yun yung move or yung mga players natin from start 90s natin. Slatters on the other hand, one player Masin being caught inside of the Blues. Papaya on the other hand, also all of them are taking their time inside of the blue zone. Still, they can recover after the blue zone damage. Pero slot, man, the slot 16. And man, they are having those knockdown. Inside the most top 5 that has been knocked down. Moving for yung mga play natin all the way. From slot 16 last man, starting na them. The rebel na lang ito gumaglaw. Lower part, Sake, lower ground, ground zero pa natin. Kaya pa sa mga play natin. All the way, slot 16, number 1. For the down of the other side of the Bella. Room escapade. Small room match and one player was now 5 more. One player flushed out so that those other players. The one player from Stat 3 who's been hiding inside of small house. Pero dito muna natin sa mga play natin again from Stat 25 versus Slot 4 who's been having the engagement roughly dito sa perimeter na blue zone natin. Edges of the blue zone, yung pinaka-perimeter, pinaka-location mga Stat 4 natin dito versus Slot 25 other side of the house na rin kung nasa yung whereabouts ng mga Stat 25 natin. Not moving at all or maybe they're gonna be preparing some sort of ambush dito sa side ng mga Stat 4 natin again. Missing 2 players yung mga Stat 25 natin dito and will be outnumbered by 1 player though from Stat 4 no lurking and going for the prone gaming na rin kung nasa yung whereabouts ng mga Stat 25 natin. Put the 5 and 25 forward down from the Stat boy. No one's gonna be out here alone in the moment after the 1v1 situation. Those player flushed out. So the moment as of now, nagkameron naman ng another location and move. Target dito sa side ng mga play natin all the way from stop. That 6 tayo na si Yoshi and big damage of course by those bullets ng mga slot lines natin from the moment most definitely slot 9 most definitely saw our play on slot 6. They definitely opened fire immediately. Even though that everyone's gonna be hearing those gunshot sounds and will be picking those coordinates of them. That is the coordinates or the location they're willing to give just to put those target of him down. Pero Yoshi most definitely avoided the area kung saan nagkameron ng open fire yung mga slot lines natin dito totally ignored. Pero right now is gonna be pulling over naman dito sa iyo kung nasa yung 4-man squad of our slot 5 natin. So the open fire ginawa yung play natin the all the way from slot 5 still being pushed here on the river bank kung nasa all the way so slot 5 has been waiting for him who's gonna be landing on that spot. Next is the one guy natin dito who's been using the vehicle. Queen dada natin dito most definitely pick up a lot of people kung nasa way about sa mga play natin dito from the moment the one player from Stat 5 most definitely guys come down. Alam na rin na one play natin dito sa Stat 10 kung nasa way about ngayon yung other play natin all the way from Stat 5 kung saan nasa riverbank dito o sabi ko dalawang pakinggan. Slot 7 couldn't be able to open fire towards those men from Slot 5 and Slot 10 who's been having their action dito. Couldn't be able to draw his weapon to open fire. What he can do is watch those men slaughtered one another. Pero Nel natin dito is not that serious to pick this one player from start out from the game, out from the sports. Pero natin dito, better safe than sorry is gonna be peeling out from this location. He already knew that those men from Snap 5 is gonna be pushing in kung nasa yung whereabouts niya. But only 5 those men from Snap 20, pero Snap 20 natin dito got that one play tag. This is the one guy natin dito who's been using the vehicle. Queen dada natin dito most that pick up a lot of people, but only 5 those men from Snap 20, pero Snap 20 natin dito got that one play lacking all alone. As that 20 is replacing the one guy from Snap 10 here in the position where those men from Snap 5 will be moving on and they're moving too soon or moving forth. 4-3 situation pa rin. Safe pa rin yung mga play natin dito just that inside of the circle. So you can see little by little, slaughter teams natin dito are moving inside of the circle while a player from slot 20 3s are now being caught inside of the blues. Right now, snap fights natin dito are now staying as quiet as possible. Knowing snap 20 most definitely got their hands on towards that one player from slot 10. Middle of the battlefield where those men from snap 5 prepare for some damage out for the other player who's gonna be landing himself here. The rush. Two players gameplay from snap 20 is knocked down. Right now, snap 20 is now taken by those men. Ay, gawa ng mga play natin dito. Hold the way from slot 5 natin dito. Exposing their back view towards this one player from slot 9 for a knockdown. One player from slot 1 is knocked down last man. KitKat. Slot 5 natin dito. Man, I don't know, man. Slot 5 natin dito. Even inside of the blues. We have AKUZA and Claws all the way from slot 5 natin dito. Last man starting from the squad. Pero nade throwing as the best. Or maybe talaga na pinanaw na rin ng mga slot 5 natin. Iko, nasa katabi lang ng mga slot 5 natin. That causes that one play to be eliminated out from the game. Inside of Smoke Shack, one play has been knocked down. Seeing that one play inside of Smoke Shack. Galang, get the target. Move home for them to be able to take one down. One player running up na rin. Having those that they got knocked down again. One player has been recovered. Who got knocked down? Bahala na si Batman. They got knocked down. Ay, gawa naman.
Squatter House Gaming. Heto na sa laban, di ka uurungan ng mga malupit sa minay sumabay. Sabay ka sa beat at lahat magingay. Malabuhawi pag bumakbak, sa pandinig lahat isaksak. Pag di ka tumago ako'y asintado, ito'y aprobado, ika'y sagalpak. May lalim at lawak, galawang mahusay. May tutok lumapat, galawang matibay. Lihiti munggang, kami ang patunay. May tutok sa clash, kaya kung tumibay sambala ka lang. Yan ang sigurado, galawan na smooth. Medyo agresibo, maingat na kilos na parang plinano. Sadyang palaban, yan ang Pilipino. Solido bumanat, tapat ka sa sentro. Sabay na sa game, basag ka sa flame. Kapag bumalasa, pasok to sa lasa. Lihiti mong bara, wasak ka sa main.
Subukan mang umiwas ay di ka makakataka. Sigurado ko sa pulat, lahat ay malalakas. At wala matitira kung di kami lang malakas. Huwag ka boy umasa na kami ay mapitas. Gamay ko na ito kaya malabo mga paa. Babatukan lang kita hanggang ikaw ay madapa. Dudurugin lang kita sabay tipi sa muka. Ewan ko na lang kung tatalog ka sa tuwa. Asa ka sa tiyamba na kami inyo madali. Tirang talikuran ay alis ito palagi. Ibahin mo kami pare pag kami ang umatake. Di basta-basta padali kaya huwag ka makapante. Baka di mo kilala isa ito sa malakas. Motivational speaker panapat ko sa alas. Kilalang taga-utas na mga nagmatigas. Walang kinakatakutan labanan hanggang wakas. Legit na veterano sa paggamit ng barel. Di nagbimintis, asintado kumitel. Kabilang to sa pinakamahusay na dapat mo igalang dahil di mo kalibel. Kung di ka kalibel, panoorin mo na lang. Mga shoutcaster, tanggapin mo na lamang. Mga sharpshooter, kami lang ang sakalam. Lagi last hater, kaya iyak talunan. Mga tira nyo kasi hindi inaasinta. Tapos yung isang kasama mo nag-aasim pa. Kaya payo ko sa'yo, sige mag-practice pa. Nakatutok na kami, kayo ay puro plan pa. Ganito kami katibi para di margibyado. Kabisado ang galaw bago sumabak sa duelo. Dito matira matibay at kami na ang panalo. Walang pwede makapigil at kami ang hari dito.